everyone, welcome to Storytime with Miss Marissa. Today we're going to read a book by Dr. Seuss. He's a really famous author who wrote a lot of great stories, and I'm sure we'll read some more of him as we go on. This story is about all of these amazing things that happen on one street. I bet you can imagine some amazing things happening on your street. It's time for our story. And to think I saw that on Mulberry Street. This is one of my old family books. You can see that some of my cousins put stickers on it, but it's still a great story. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. When I leave home to walk to school, Dad always says to me, "Marco, keep your eyelids open and see what you can see." But when I tell him where I've been and what I think I've seen, he looks at me and sternly says, "Your eyesight's much too keen. Stop telling me such outlandish tales. Stop turning minnows into whales. Now what can I say when I get home today?" All along the way to school and all the way back, I've looked and I've kept careful track. But all that I've noticed, except my own feet, was a horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. That's nothing to tell of. That wouldn't do, of course. Just a broken down wagon that's drawn by a horse. That can't be my story. That's only a start. I'll say that a zebra was pulling the cart. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say I saw it on Mulberry Street. Yes, the zebra is fine, but I think it's a shame, such a marvelous beast with a cart that's so tame. The story would really be better to hear if the driver I saw were a charioteer. A gold and blue chariot, something to meet, rumbling like thunder down Mulberry Street. No, it won't do at all. A zebra is much too small. A reindeer is better. He's fast and he's fleet, and he'd look mighty smart on old Mulberry Street. Hold on a minute, there's something wrong. A reindeer hates the way it feels to pull that thing that runs on wheels. He'd be much happier instead if he could pull a fancy sled. A reindeer and sleigh. Say anyone could think of that. Jack or Fred or Joe or Nat. Say even Jane could think of that. But it isn't too late to make one little change. A sleigh and an elephant. Now that's something strange. I'll pick one with plenty of power and size, a blue one with plenty of fun in his eyes, and then just to give him a little more tone, have a Raj with rubies perched high on the throne. Say that makes a story that no one can beat when I say I saw it on Mulberry Street. But now, I don't know, it doesn't seem right. An elephant pulling a thing that's so light, would it whip it around in the air like a kite? I bet he'd look simply grand with a great big brass band. A band that's so good it should have something to hear, but it's going so fast that it's hard to keep near. I'll put on a trailer, I know they won't mind if a man sits and listens while he's hitched from behind. But now, is it fair? Is it fair what I've done? I'll bet those wagons weigh much more than a ton. That's really too heavy a load for one beast. I'll give him some helpers. He needs two at least. But now what worries me is this. Mulberry Street runs into bliss. Unless there's something I can fix up, there'll be an awful traffic mix-up. It takes the police to do the trick, to guide them through where traffic's thick. It takes the police to do the trick. They'll never crash now, they'll race at top speed with Sergeant Mulvaney himself in the lead. And the mayor is there, and he thinks it is grand, and he raises his hat, and they dash by the stand. And the mayor is there, and the aldermen too, all waving big banners of red, white, and blue. And that is the story that no one can beat when I say I saw it on Mulberry Street. With a roar of its motor, an airplane appears and dumps out confetti, and everyone cheers. And that makes a story that's really not bad, but still could be better. Suppose if I add a Chinese boy who eats with sticks, a big magician doing tricks, a 10-foot beard that needs a comb. No time for more, I'm almost home. I swung around the corner and dashed through the gate. I ran up the steps and I simply felt great, for I had a story that no one could beat. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But Dad sat quite calmly. Just draw up your stool and tell me the sights on the way home from school. There was so much to tell, I just couldn't begin. Dad looked at me sharply and pulled at his chin. He frowned at me sternly from there on his seat. Was there nothing to look at, no people to greet? Did nothing excite you or make your heart beat? Nothing, I said, growing red as a beet, but a plain horse and wagon on Mulberry Street. That was a fantastical story. He had a lot of creativity and a lot of imagination to think of all of those things. Sometimes when we have really great imagination or images in our mind, that's one of the gifts we get from God. Just like his imagination is so huge, he gives that gift to us. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your day.